granniopteryx, she knows the truth, she's linking every link.
Hello. So, on Friday night, just after 7 p.m, when a lot of people were starting their weekend socialising, many of them out in their back gardens enjoying the late afternoon sunshine, heading to the more comfortable evening temperatures, and lighting up the barbecues with friends, family and neighbours, and looking forward to a pleasant time ahead. Or perhaps some of them putting their toddlers to bed and looking forward to a glass of wine in front of the telly. Suddenly, tens of millions of mobile phones started blaring out an alarm. What's happened? Are we being invaded? Well, actually, yes, but we got used to that. So what's the emergency? Earthquake? Typhoon? Meghan Markle coming to visit? No, it's an alert to tell us not to light barbecues because of the risk of starting wildfires. Yes, as if you're going to burn Yorkshire down by firing up your gas hob on the patio outside your sitting room in a Victorian semi in Leeds. What sort of wildfire will that start? I would venture to suggest nothing at all. That alarm was supposed to be in use for genuine, pressing, instant emergencies when people had to take cover at once. It's not there, or it shouldn't be there, for telling people to be more responsible citizens. And anyone in the government should know that. So why did they do it? Well, Black Belt Barrister, while complaining about the hysterical behaviour of this present government, made the comment that they weren't acting like a serious administration. But he concentrated on chastising them for panicking, and he went through a whole list of problems they caused, mainly to do with the emergency services being clogged up with calls. Hang on, just a minute. The government's emergency alert system descended into chaos on Friday when wildfire warnings sounded repeatedly on mobile phones. All residents of England and Wales were meant to receive the alert, warning them not to light fires in the countryside or other open spaces, including parks, moorland and wooded areas, at 7 p.m. Fire services in Surrey, Gloucester and South Wales were among those experiencing a high volume of 999 calls. In a statement on X, Surrey Fire and Rescue Service said, "Please only call 999 if there's an emergency or a fire producing significant smoke." You see, because panic-stricken citizens were ringing the police and the fire brigade because they'd had an alert about barbecues, and they were ringing the police to report neighbours who were at that very moment attending the barbecues I was talking about at the start of this video. And when the Black Belt Barrister started talking about this, it occurred to me that this alarm might have had some method in its madness, and it might not have had anything to do with wildfires. Well, yeah, but only tangentially. Let's start with the emergency situation. The country has been dry for weeks, and that's well known. And there have been some very serious fires, life-threatening fires. That's also well known. I very well understand and applaud the government's action in banning the sale of portable barbecues to reduce the risk of people going out to picnic in dry areas and starting fires accidentally while they're grilling the chicken wings. I agree with all of that. It's the sensible thing to do. But we know that. We get that information all the time. We get it from the shops that won't sell you the portable barbecues. We get it from TV and radio announcement. We get it on X. We get it on the news. We don't need an emergency alarm going off at 7 p.m, especially 7 p.m. Why? I mean, people have set whatever they're doing by then. nor do we need it repeated at 10 p.m, which is what happened in many cases at 10 p.m, when those parents I told you about who were trying to get their kids off to sleep before they had their glass of wine and a packet of crisps outside on the patio. When those parents had finally settled their terrified toddlers back to sleep after the first bombing raid at 7 o'clock. So, yeah, that alarm was strictly unnecessary, except for one possible reason. And that might have something to do with the nudge unit I've spoken about before. Population control. Let's create a national panic. Let's frighten people into compliance. Let's have a national emergency and prepare the ground for, well, shutdowns of various sorts. I mean, if we can panic people with the alarm, maybe we can make them do other things. Let's see how many people are going to shop their neighbours for lighting a candle on their garden table when they're having a drink outside of an evening. Haven't we learnt anything from COVID? Don't you remember all that silly pot banging, which I refuse to do, by the way, and all that social distancing and all those bullying policemen accusing women of going for a walk in the park, carrying paper cups of coffee, and they were saying that they were having a picnic? Do you remember that? Do you remember all the people who were ringing up to report their neighbours because they thought they could hear their neighbours had a guest round? Do you remember that? Keep them frightened. That's the best way to get a compliant population. And while we're talking about alarms and wildfires, perhaps we won't be thinking of the 1,000-strong boats beaching up on our shores loaded with fighting-age young Muslims. Now, that's something we really should be setting off alarms for, isn't it? Till next time. You can help my channel by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. That's quite important. And by sharing if you're so inclined. Links to my other channels and to donation methods are in the description. But the best way you can help is simply by clicking like and notify. Thank you.